Your neighbor decides which government falls tomorrow. You find out about it over dinner tonight. 70% of individuals with top-level U.S. security clearances don't live in D.C. They chose the silence of the Virginia woods, 15 minutes from the capital. Welcome to the trianglomerate, McLean, Alexandria, and Arlington. This is the living shield around the center of power, where the concentration of secret clearances per square mile is higher than anywhere else on the planet. Here, you don't buy square footage for the view. You invest in geopolitical superiority. George Washington and Bernard Arnault didn't choose this land for aesthetics. They chose it for membership in a club that manages trillions. I prepared a list of 5 mansions with explosive potential for 2026. Where land scarcity meets the interests of intelligence and the defense industry, returns become double-digit. These aren't just properties, they are your tickets into the system. We begin. Number 5, the presidential artifact in Alexandria, $60 million. We start with a lot that was never supposed to be private. Riverview Estate is the only private enclave literally carved into the territory of the Mount Vernon National Museum. This isn't a house purchase, it's an investment in legitimacy. While others buy new builds, you own the foundation of the empire just 9 miles from the Oval Office. The shock factor here isn't the 15 bathrooms. It's the $450,000 annual tax bill. That is the price for 400 feet of Potomac waterfront, patrolled by the Secret Service as strictly as the Capitol perimeter. History is the only resource that cannot be manufactured. Number 4, the Arnault Land Bank in Scottsville, $52.6 million. If the previous lot provided status, this one provides scale. This is a case study from the world's wealthiest man, Bernard Arnault. Mount Ida Reserve is nearly 3,000 acres of power, twice the size of the neighboring Trump estate. Arnault didn't buy this for the vineyards. He bought control over the landscape. The math is staggering. The territory already contains 150 pre-platted buildable lots, ready for realization without new permits. Yet the taxes are only $39,000 thanks to agricultural deferments. In 2026, this estate becomes the ultimate land offshore. Number 3, the Langley Hideaway in McLean, $18 million. We move to Langley Farms, the most restricted zip code in the world. This is a place where silence is a product of electronic warfare systems, not a lack of neighbors. The CIA headquarters is just 3 miles away. This property, a monolithic shell of concrete and steel, is currently the most discussed deal in the trianglomerate. You're picking it up at a 25% discount. To a layman, it's a distressed project. To an insider, it's an opportunity to build a hardened headquarters from scratch, bypassing years of security vetting. Number 2, the Tech Command Center in McLean, $16 million, a trophy mansion for the top brass of the military-industrial complex. We are 5 minutes from the headquarters of defense giants like General Dynamics and Northrop Grumman. The logic is simple. If your company manages trillion-dollar Pentagon contracts, you need a home that matches your clearance level. The master suite is engineered as an isolated security perimeter. With Virginia's 5.75% income tax versus California's 13%, the savings on maintaining this home run into the millions, simply based on your zip code. Number 1, the Dynasty Forge in Oakton, $15 million. The final chord of our ranking, Edge Hill Estate. This is where new money ends and eternal interests begin. The primary advantage is hidden in the tax code. Virginia is one of the few states with no state-level inheritance or estate tax. On a $50 million estate, the savings for your family would be $8 million. The 13-car garage isn't for a collection, it's for a full-scale security motorcade. This is the most secure way to build a family seat under the protection of the system. The trianglomerate isn't geography, it's an operating system of power. Here, you pay for the right to know the news before it hits the Reuters wire. Land scarcity and proximity to the money printer make these homes the most liquid assets of the decade. Your move: claim Washington soil for $60 million and assert your leadership? Or take the CIA-adjacent shell in Langley and run the world from the shadows? Tell me in the comments which strategy you would choose. Subscribe if you value hard-hitting analytics without the fluff. Do you know why the world's wealthiest people spent decades sitting under the rain in Medina? It's all about the math they don't advertise. Washington State has 0% state income tax. It's the ultimate safe haven for billions. But the era of the old giants is over. Gates and Bezos have moved on, leaving behind the most prestigious plots on the planet. I've selected 5 properties where your status will grow faster than Apple's market cap. And make sure to watch until the end, because the 5th lot is worth buying just for a single handshake with a neighbor that could pay for the house in a week. Let's go! Modern minimalism on Evergreen Point for $15,980,000. Property taxes here are about $130,000 a year. This is your entrance ticket to the upper echelon. You are looking at a 2024 build, the epitome of high-tech minimalism. Medina is currently seeing a massive construction boom. Old 90s estates are being leveled to make way for these glass, steel, and stone masterpieces. You are buying this property fresh off the line. The tax assessment for this land grows by 8% annually, regardless of the market. Within a 2-minute radius live Amazon top executives and venture capitalists whose names don't appear in Forbes, but whose signatures are on billion-dollar checks. It's the perfect spot for networking right during your morning jog. The Statement House on 79th Place for $16,996,000. Taxes are $140,000 a year. This isn't just a home, it's an architectural manifesto. The floor-to-ceiling panoramic glass is designed so Lake Washington becomes part of your interior, while multi-level gardens keep you completely hidden from prying eyes. Properties on this street are a rare find. Investors call this trophy real estate. In the last 7 years, the price per square foot here has skyrocketed by 110%. Usually these homes are snapped up by founders right after an IPO. Medina is where you solidify your success in concrete. The neighborhood demands excellence. 2 houses down lives Jeff Wilkie, the man who was Jeff Bezos' right hand for years. Medina Classics on 28th Place for $21,950,000. Moving on to the heavy artillery, almost $22 million. Taxes are $180,000. This is classic luxury at its finest. A massive private lot, impeccable landscaping, and interiors worthy of a global corporate headquarters. The cost of ownership is high, but the asset truly works. Rental potential for top-tier executives is up to $70,000 a month. This is the heart of Old Medina. Your neighbors will be people like Charles Simonyi, the man who created Microsoft Office. Here, they don't just live, they shape the future of the global economy behind closed doors. The Ghost of Mercer Island for $28 million. We are heading outside Medina to Mercer Island. The address is hidden even in private databases, a sure sign that the owner isn't looking for casual visitors. For this price, you get a private shoreline and your own dock for a 100-foot yacht. People go to Mercer Island when Medina starts feeling too small. You need scale here. Waterfront lots on the island are a vanishing species. Capitalization over the last 20 years has exceeded 400%. This is where the late Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft, lived. You are entering a location with a staggering concentration of intelligence and cash per acre. The King of Evergreen Point for $29,999,000. The finale. The king of the market for $30 million. Property taxes, $250,000 a year. The most legendary address in the entire Pacific Northwest. Why is it so expensive? In Medina, every inch of shoreline is worth as much as a New York penthouse. You are paying for the ability to dock your speedboat 30 feet from your bedroom. This is an asset with 100% liquidity. Homes like this vanish from the market in days through private off-market deals. Bill Gates used to run the show here. Now that his estate is sold, the neighborhood has been taken over by crypto whales and fintech stars. Right next door lives Steve Ballmer, owner of the Clippers and former CEO of Microsoft. Living on Evergreen means being able to walk over to the world's richest people to borrow a cup of sugar and close a billion-dollar deal by the pool. There are no accidental people in Medina. Every fence here protects trillions of dollars. Gates and Bezos have cleared the field, and now it's your move. Where will you park $30 million? In a quiet headquarters on Mercer Island, or a bold facade on Evergreen Point to immediately announce yourself to your billionaire neighbors? Tell me in the comments where you would hold your first market takeover meeting. Subscribe if you think like a corporate owner, not just a spectator. See you at the top. Forget Silicon Valley. The center of America's quiet money has shifted to Puget Sound. While everyone is debating California's taxes, the world's most exclusive IT enclave has been quietly taking shape in the shadows of the Washington forests. Seattle, Redmond, and Bellevue form the Golden Triangle, where Amazon's headquarters sit right next to Blue Origin. The ace up the sleeve? No state income tax. For major capital, these savings completely cover the cost of maintaining a $20 million mansion. In Bellevue, you'll run into a neighbor at a coffee shop who closed $1 billion deal yesterday, but he'll be wearing a simple hoodie and sneakers. Here, people don't flaunt wealth, they manage it. Today, I'm ranking 5 properties under $100 million based on their potential growth coefficient. The high-tech visionary, Bellevue, $21,500,000. We're starting the ranking with the ultimate growth point, Bellevue. This city is absorbing capital from the valley faster than any other hub in the US. This property is the quintessence of success. Nearly 9,000 square feet of living space on a massive 1.78-acre lot. The tax bill is simply the entry fee for a club that carries more weight today than a San Francisco zip code. Your neighbors? The inner circle of Microsoft's founders. My analysis: in the last 25 years, land value in key waterfront spots here has grown nearly 8 times. In the scarcity of Lake Washington, this is the asset with the highest growth potential on my list today. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. The Enitai entry point, Bellevue, $9,985,000. $10 million. In this market, that's an entry-level ticket, but it's pure gold. Enitai is the location for those who value time. 5 minutes from Amazon's offices with total privacy. With a $53,000 tax bill, you get the perfect liquid asset. While $50 million lots sit on the market for years, homes like this sell in weeks. This is a segment any bank understands. If you need to park capital with a quick exit to cash, this is option number 1. The Olson Kundig Sanctuary, Seattle, $18,450,000. Collectible real estate. Architect Tom Kundig's name acts as an insurance policy here. The $146,000 tax is justified by a neighborhood of the intellectual elite and owners of the largest private practices. It's an architectural masterpiece that turns 150 feet of shoreline into art. The growth potential lies in absolute uniqueness. Building a second home like this in this location is simply not allowed by law anymore. Every foot of Seattle waterfront is a scarcity, but every foot by Kundig is an unmatched exclusive. The Heritage Waterfront, Seattle, $19,945,000. Seattle old money. An estate with a private lagoon in Laurelhurst for $19,945,000, where homes stay off the open market for decades. The $161,000 tax is the price of owning an acre of land in the historic heart of the city. Growth here is moderate, but incredibly steady. This isn't a speculative play. It's a resource that will never depreciate. In any crisis, Laurelhurst stands like a rock. It's your personal bank vault of over 11,000 square feet, protected from inflation by the region's geography. The Mercer Island Trophy, $25 million. The crown jewel of the list, a modern fortress on Mercer Island. This is a billionaire sanctuary. Industry titans have lived here for generations. But let's use cold calculation. $25 million is the market's psychological ceiling. The $112,000 tax is the price of absolute security. This is a long-game investment to preserve capital in the state's most prestigious enclave. There are no more vacant lots for a build of this scale on the island. You are buying the last available exclusive. The statistics are relentless. Puget Sound's premium segment has grown by 50% in 5 years. Why isn't it a bubble? The AI boom generates new millionaires every week, and the physical scarcity of waterfront land prevents prices from dropping. This is the harbor where technology meets hard assets. What's your move? Risk it for a 30% gain in Bellevue, or secure a forever asset in Laurelhurst? Let me know in the comments which house you'd take today if budget wasn't an issue. Let's see how many real strategists we have here. Subscribe if you value hard-hitting analytics without the fluff. Next up, more hidden hubs and real numbers. Don't miss it. Forget Aspen as a ski resort. The ultra-wealthy don't buy ski passes, they buy the mountains. While tourists are stuck in lift lines, the elite are looking down on them from $300 million fortresses. I'm about to show you 6 estates that turn the Rockies into private kingdoms. Let's ride. Number 1, the Alpine Minimalist. We begin our ascent at 296 Glen D Road in McLean Flats. This is for those who hate clutter and demand total visual control. This house is an architectural arrow piercing the horizon with a 360-degree panorama of the Rockies. The price tag? $35 million. In Calabasas, that gets you a mansion with a view of your neighbor's fence. Here, you own the entire valley. It is a gallery for an art collection that likely costs more than the foundation itself. Number 2, the Village Crown. Next, we head to Vail. If you want everything at once, 100 Vail Road is the only address that matters. This is the epicenter of alpine supremacy. Pure, elite-level ski-in, ski-out access. You don't travel to the slopes start at your terrace. The price tag? $68 million. This is a zero depreciation asset in a location that incinerates the competition. While LA chokes on smog, you are breathing crisp air at 8,000 feet. This is for the boss whose time is worth thousands per minute. Number 3, the Modern Titan. Located at 1011 Ute Avenue, right at the base of Aspen Mountain. This isn't just housing, it's an engineering masterpiece. We are talking private bowling alleys, tennis courts, and a spa area that makes 5-star hotels look cheap. The price tag? $75 million. This is technological doping. A house that anticipates your every desire before you even feel it. While others invest in square footage, you are investing in a total, high-tech sensory experience. Number 4, the Gated Sanctuary. Also at $75 million, we enter Starwood, Aspen's only gated community with private armed security. 401 Carroll Drive is for those who value privacy over publicity. This is a personal fortress. While Beverly Hills deals with paparazzi, your peace is guarded by an elite service and acres of private forest. This is the choice for people whose signatures move global markets. You are buying a guarantee that the world will never bother you. Number 5, the Summit Sentinel, 125 Rooney Circle, the Olympus of Red Mountain. This home is a literal observatory of success, designed so every inch of space feeds your ego. From these floating terraces, you look down on the town like it is a chessboard. The price tag? $99 million. You are paying for the ego view. In Aspen, a view from Red Mountain is a privilege of the gods. Your only witness here is the sky. Total, absolute isolation in the most expensive zip code in the country. Number 6, the final boss, the king of Aspen, 161 Stillwater Drive. We are at the top of the food chain. Stillwater Ranch is not a house. It is a private state. The price tag? $300 million. 74 acres of land in the dead heart of Aspen. To put that in perspective, people here fight for decades just to own half an acre. You have 74. Your own shoreline on the Roaring Fork River, a cascade of private lakes, and a 27,000 square foot estate. This is a scale that shocks even industry titans. It's an asset passed down like a royal title, the final level. Colorado isn't about pretty views. It is a strategic manifesto. It is a choice for absolute privacy and a level of freedom that is unavailable on overcrowded coasts. Where would you rather thrive? In the gated bunker of Starwood or on the Red Mountain throne? Or will you keep defending your beach paradise while your taxes pay everyone else's bills? I am waiting for your arguments in the comments. Prove to me that sand in your flip-flops is better than owning the horizon in Aspen. Or subscribe if you are finally ready to exit the system and take your place at the peak. See you at the top. Suffering losses in investments is the fate of 90% of the population. Finding real gold in 2026 is a privilege of the 10%. In real estate, there's a rule. When supply is limited by waterfront land, money stops mattering. I'll show you 6 homes in New Jersey from $15.9 to $24.75 million that grew in value faster than your crypto portfolio. And I'll explain why oceanfront land can't be printed like dollars. Let's go. These aren't just houses. These are assets where every foot of coastline is a scarcity that the Fed can't multiply. Jersey Shore and Alpine in 2025 to 2026 are showing 6 to 10% plus growth. The median in the premium segment is skyrocketing due to limited supply and influx of quiet money. Taxes here aren't a burden, they're the price of club membership, where return on investment is measured not in years, but in seasons. Let's start with Seagirt at $15.9 million. Direct access to 200 feet of private beach. This lot has grown 8 times in value over the last 20 years. They don't build glass boxes here, they build fortresses. Taxes of $30,000 a year are the entry ticket to a zone where median prices jumped 8% in a year. New building permits right at the water's edge aren't being issued anymore. This is an asset for those who hide capital in eternal values. Now Alpine, the wealthiest zip code on the East Coast. Average home price, $8 million. Average. This home at $18 million sits on 5 acres behind gates. This is a zone of absolute silence and security. One of the largest home theaters in Bergen County with 30 seats. Taxes, $135,000. Sounds like a lot? No. Price growth in Alpine was plus 10.6% in a year. Neighbors are Chris Rock, Diddy, Jay-Z. Buying this house, you're buying information that arrives here before Bloomberg terminals. 15 minutes to Manhattan, and you're in the center of the world. Next is Mantaloking at $18.75 million. New 2025 construction on Barnegat Bay Lagoon. This is the wealthiest corner of the shore in the state. A lagoon lot is a strategic choice. Deep water for your yacht right at your doorstep, but without the ocean's storm surge. Neighbors are top executives and Olympic champions. Tax is only $23,000. You own nearly a $19 million asset, but pay less than for an apartment in Manhattan. Segment growth, 7% plus. Summer rental pays for annual maintenance in 2 months. Now attention, antique real estate. Mawa, $19 million. The legendary Crocker Mansion from 1907. 50,000 square feet on 12 acres. This isn't a house, it's a work of art that appreciates like Leonardo da Vinci paintings. Grand halls, libraries, fountains. Taxes, $248,000 a year. Yes, you're paying for police to arrive in 2 minutes, and for neighbors who make decisions on a global scale. Price growth in Bergen County, 9 to 10%. Historic estates double in value due to uniqueness. They simply aren't being built anymore. This is a dynasty asset that you'll pass to your grandchildren, worth more than you paid. Rio Vista Drive in Alpine, Billionaires Row. Home at $23.5 million with views of an exclusive golf club. Infinity pool over a cliff, full spa center, massage room. This is 5-star hotel level that belongs only to you. Taxes, $175,000. You're paying for security and neighbors whose names open any doors. The scarcity of southern views makes the lot super stable. You can always exit this asset with profit because demand for the best view in Alpine will never disappear. And the finale, $24.75 million. 21,000 square feet of ultra-modern luxury from 2017. Solar panels, Venetian plaster, marble bridges instead of stairs, and 9 fireplaces. This is the peak of Rio Vista prestige. Neighbors are top elite, whose names appear in headlines about mergers and acquisitions. Taxes, $185,000. The combination of modern architecture and land scarcity will ensure 10% plus growth. In any crisis, this house will be worth more than your crypto portfolio. So you have 2 portfolios. In the first, charts that fall when Elon Musk writes a tweet. In the second, oceanfront land that can't be printed and can't be hacked. What do you choose? Red candles on a screen or keys to a house on Rio Vista? Write in the comments your choice, ocean or mountains, Seagirt or Alpine. And if you're still sitting in crypto, write honestly how much you've already lost in the last year. Like if you're into this analysis without fluff. Subscribe if you want to see more assets that grow while the market falls. See you at the next location.